So we finally have Bellular's take on ONeill leaving. Title of the video is Blizzard and Activision's Terrible Day. And I'm assuming that this also includes the earnings call or whatever. So I cannot wait to dive into this video. I've been waiting for this video pretty much since yesterday. And the time has come, team. The time has come to absolutely devour this video. Let's go. Structural collapse. Activision Blizzard's attempt to rebuild face barrage of issues. Ooh, the title is looking like Bellular is going to go in. He's going to go in and he's not going to be pulling any punches. Let's see if that's true.
Well, everyone, it seems that Activision Blizzard are a little bit banjaxed at the minute.
Just a little bit. It's not too much. Just a little bit, you know? Jesus Christ, it's going to be so bad.
Put it lightly. To start, of course, it's always fun to check in on the oh dear. Oopsies,
oh my
happened?
God! I hadn't even seen that. Holy shit! Oh my God, what the hell? Dude, is it still like that? Wait. Ugh! And that's a meaning. That's a friggin'. That's $15 drop. Oh, more like $10 drop, dude. Holy shit. 68 USD. Buy the dip. To the moon. No, fuck that shit. Definitely don't buy it. Not financial advice.
Yes, the Activision Blizzard stock price has dipped significantly.
Yeah.
Some people will probably look at that and think, oh, great, what a steal. That'll be up around $100 again once they recover.
Pretty much.
Pretty nice gain.
Pretty
Some
much.
people are going to think that. But what we absolutely do know is that the markets have not reacted particularly well to the latest Activision Blizzard news.
And here's the thing. The reason why the markets aren't reacting well is because the markets are looking at it and they're like, wait a minute. You're delaying Overwatch 2. You're delaying Diablo 4. The only thing you released this year, not Diablo 2. Wait, yeah, you're delaying Overwatch 2. You're delaying Diablo 4. The only thing you released this year was Diablo 2, which is like a 20-year-old game at this point. More than 20-year-old game. That was literally your only release this year. Next year, the only thing you are releasing is Diablo Immortal, which, by the way, that in and of itself, interestingly enough, it should be a product that a lot of shareholders are excited about, but it doesn't look like they are. This is friggin' wild, dude.
So we should probably talk about that news and work out why this big dip in the graph has happened, because it's not just things that will piss off investors. It is things that will somewhat rattle player performance.
Oh, yeah.
Now then, there's not that much to unpack on the financial side of things, which is good because it means we can move on from the boring numbers pretty quickly. Basically, it was a surprisingly good quarter for them. General figures, their net revenues up 6% year over year. This is higher than they predicted back in August too. So there you go. Their net bookings
well, it's because
up 6%,
it's Activision
net
and
income
Blizzard,
up
so
5%
Call of Duty.
overall. Happy business. Let's get into the business units. King, they posted the biggest gains. We don't give a shit because it's Candy Crush and mobile games.
Exactly.
Swiftly
it's
onwards.
garbage.
Blizzard Entertainment, segment revenues up 20% to $478 million. Driven by the successful launch of Diablo 2 Resurrected. And if you look, I believe it's at page 48 of the filing that came along with this, it did say that their revenues were up because of the successful launch, but that was partially offset by World of Warcraft revenues being down.
Dude, every time I think about this, you guys want to know the conclusion that I reach? the conclusion that I reach, Blizzard does not deserve the Diablo IP. Blizzard so does not deserve the Diablo IP, dude. They really don't. They've treated this franchise like absolute dog shit. They treat this dude. Blizzard has done Diablo so fucking dirty. So fucking dirty, dude. Blizzard did Diablo so excruciatingly dirty. They did not only just Diablo, Blizzard did Diablo as a franchise so incredibly dirty, and they did the fan base of Diablo even dirtier. Okay? So Blizzard as a company has actively spit on this franchise and spat on the faces of the people that support this franchise. And what happened at the end of the day when they came in to call in their chits with the fucking fan base that they spat upon? What happened? That fan base pushed them right up to success. They're like, yep, yeah. Diablo 2, man. This 20-year-old game that we all fucking love. And I'd have been right there alongside everybody else if it wasn't for the bullshit that they're going through. But dude, they so don't fucking deserve it. Like, and here's the thing, right? They didn't even have, on the one hand, I was about to say they didn't even have the decency to do the remaster themselves. But to be honest, that was probably the best thing they could have done for that franchise, is to fucking give it to somebody else when they know that they no longer have the necessary talent to pull it off. It is a sad state of affairs. But good God, if Diablo did not just 100% carry this fucking quarter. Diablo picked up World of Warcraft on its back. Okay? Diablo picked up World of Warcraft on its back and said, I got you. And just like carried World of Warcraft through this fucking quarter. It's disgusting. It makes me sick that Blizzard has done this franchise and this fan base so incredibly fucking dirty and then come back to fucking milk us some more. It's disgusting, dude.
I friggin' wonder why. They had 26 million monthly active users in Q3, meaning that they managed to launch a whole new product but didn't have their MAUs go up. Now, there's a lot for me and you to dive into in that one. Q3.
Yep.
Interesting quarter. Diablo 2 Resurrected happened, and as we'll get into later, it did really well. I mean, certainly if the server's falling over is any form of metric, D2 did super well. However, one of the things that would be very good for your monthly active users, of course, is World of Warcraft, the big subscription MMO.
Because of the Hearthstone. Because of the Hearthstone
thing. World of Warcraft patch, so a lot of people are saying that Q2 had World of Warcraft patch 9.1. Q3 did not have a World of Warcraft patch. Therefore, oh dear, of course Q3 would be strong. No. World of Warcraft patch 9.1 came out the last day, pretty much, of June. The very end of Q2. So and of course its content was staggered over the next 10 weeks. So everybody who came back for patch 9.1 of World of Warcraft will be represented in Q2 and Q3 numbers. Remember that. So even with World of Warcraft having basically, I'd say all of those patch 9.1 people represented in both quarters, and a big new product come out, they still had flat MAUs, which makes me think that World of Warcraft's probably not doing incredibly well. It makes me think that Overwatch is just dwindling away. It makes me think that maybe Hearthstone's latest efforts haven't done mega good for player numbers, even though it seems like they've done, by the quality of the game, quite a bit. Yeah. And then I guess there's the other things that Blizzard do, but overall, it's not what you want to see. Whenever a big product launch happens, you absolutely want to be seeing MAUs going up.
Yeah, I think one of the things to keep in mind here is how they likely calculate MAUs over a quarter, because you could have 100 million people join to play Diablo Resurrected. Obviously, it's not quite that high, I imagine. But, you know, that would still only be 33 million MAUs averaged out because that's only September. Because Q3 is July, August, September of the year.
I would have imagined it's an average.
Yeah. So that's the case where it's not going to be, you know, everyone's played this in September, so the numbers are up that amount. But it does mean that if you cut the amount of people who've played Diablo 2 Resurrected down to 1/3, that's likely what the MAU number has gone up by. So it's a shame we don't have full numbers on sales, but we do know it's an extremely successful game. So without Resurrected, they're probably down a couple million from their other properties, but thankfully for them, they're able to mask that to investors.
Yeah, I do have to wonder then as well. Those Hearthstone
Financial
promos.
gymnastics.
When did they first kick off?
I believe they first kicked off with the World of Warcraft mount in September.
Yeah, so that will mean that a lot of World of Warcraft people in September will have hopped over. So not only do you have patch 9.1, basically like the date double dipping between the months, not only do you have that, you also have got WoW people logging into Hearthstone for a mount.
Yeah.
And if you log into WoW once and you log into Hearthstone once, you will count as 2 monthly active users.
Yep.
And how their numbers are operating. So
it's all smoke and mirrors, dude. This company
It's
is
flat,
operating on smoke and mirrors.
but they have done jiggery pokery and funny business to try to increase their numbers as much as possible, and they've had a big new release. And for it to still be flat is a spook. And then also page 48 of that filing, which does suggest the World of Warcraft revenues being down as well.
Yep.
So it's not looking good for Blizzard.
No.
And guess what? That's the best Blizzard news because they've had to delay games. Oh dear. As for Activision then, net revenues down 17%.
Imagine going like, yeah, shit's going real bad, but this is the best news we have to give you. Holy crap, dude.
Year over year to 641 million and 119 MAUs through Q3. Now, for some of the highlights, they basically have this where they essentially just reiterate stuff they've already said regarding the workplace environment issues. And then Bobby on Q3 basically just says it's a strong third quarter ahead of their prior outlook, talking about being excited for the new Call of Duty, thanking the employees, and we look forward to sharing our progress updates on our workplace initiatives. Woo! The usual. Now, as for Activision, they say the Call of Duty basically is just doing well, spreading its tendrils everywhere with free-to-play. Player investment on PC and console is well above the level seen prior to Warzone existing, approximately 3 times the level of Q3 2019. Basically just shows that the three-pronged COD plan works extremely well for them. And COD Mobile net bookings are up 40% year over year, with double-digit growth in the West and continued contribution from China. So,
see, guys, it's because of news like this that I almost felt like crying during the Elden Ring reveal. Because I was just thinking to myself, thank God that there's actually someone out there that is still making actual video games. Thank God, dude. That's what I was thinking when I was reacting to Elden Ring today, when I was watching the video, and I was just like, dude, I am so incredibly happy that there's actually still a couple of developers out there that just want to make good video games. Because you know that what these guys want is just like, they want that dirty mobile money. They want that disgusting, nasty, dirty mobile money, dude. With friggin' Diablo Immortal, Call of Duty Mobile, all of the, it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
all doing pretty well. Now, over to Blizzard. Diablo 2 Resurrected was the first step in their era of unprecedented content scale for the franchise.
You disgust me.
First step. Now, this era might be a little bit more stretched out than you would have initially hoped because D4 is delayed. We'll get into that in a little. Now, the week 1 sales were the highest for a remaster in company history. And what was interesting is it wasn't Mike Ybarra who said that. I've forgotten who it was, but he was an Activision Blizzard person, not a Blizzard person.
Yeah, it was Daniel Allegra, the COO. So he said that, which implies that it's the highest for a remaster in Activision Blizzard King history, which means it's beating Crash, beating Spyro, beating Tony Hawk's, all which were largely successful in terms of the actual remaster growth. So, but I think from what we've seen, it definitely is absolutely massive in terms of how many people showed up and bought that. 'Cause
Yeah.
even one of the things that I actually noticed looking back there was Blizzard's revenue is 478 million, right? That's with 26 million MAUs. Activision's net revenue was down to 641 million with 119 million MAUs in Q3. So they have a lot more MAUs, but not the same proportion more money. So I think that comes down to a lot of these full price game sales and heavier monetized users, as opposed to the kind of Call of Duty and whatever else. Activision not being able to sell full games the same way.
I think COD Mobile also just massively will inflate their MAU count.
Of course,
I mean, as it did, because you look at the quarters before COD Mobile and
Yeah.
after COD Mobile. So, right, there's that going on. Now, Diablo Immortal is on track for the first half of 2022. And I think expect to see lots of MAUs there. Everything that I hear about Diablo Immortal, for what it is, does seem to be quite good. Of course, that's saying nothing about business model or any of the ways that they'll screw it over, but
Literally pay to win, by the way. Already confirmed. In case you guys weren't aware.
it seems like it is going to be a good Diablo experience on mobile. So they have that going
Yeah,
on.
if you like pay to win.
I did, so I need to verify this, but I think I did see some complaints about what the recent closed beta looked like in terms of what's monetized on the store.
Oh, dear.
I need to investigate that. Might look into that a little bit more for
Yeah.
its own coverage, but it certainly looks looks like they may be starting off on the wrong foot. But I'm
Okay.
not don't quote me on this. I'm not entirely sure yet.
They have some kind of a battle pass where I had heard about this in a podcast that I listened to, and I knew what it was. I don't know exactly what it is now, but there is basically the point of this game is like if you just want to play it casually, you're fine. It's not a problem. But if you really want to min-max to the nth degree, which is usually what people like to do when it comes to Diablo games, let's be completely honest. As a fucking Diablo fan, I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, you know, according to what they were saying on the podcast, like if you really want to min-max, then yeah, you better. Here's what you do if you want to min-max, all right? Here's my phone. Grab your phone. Let me just phone, and I actually don't have. Do I have whatever? We'll just use this. This will do. So here's what you do to min max in Diablo Immortal. Here, I'll show you. Here's what you do. Right. Grab your phone, and then you put like a thing here on the side, and then you grab your credit card, and it goes like this. Swipe. Then after you buy the first pack, you go and you swipe again, and then again. And then, you know, this is like for one character, it'll take like 3 or 4 swipes. And then if you want another character, then you swipe a little bit more, and then you keep swiping and swiping and swiping. And that's how you min-max in Diablo Immortal.
What I'd heard was basically universally positive, I think, from the technical alpha.
Yes.
Stuff that was going on over the summer. So that's disappointing. I wasn't up to date in the closed beta. Now, World of Warcraft, they say, is on track to deliver. Get ready to turn the brain on. Its strongest engagement and net bookings outside of a modern expansion year in a decade.
Hey, break that down
Now.
for us, will you?
Now, hold on a damn second. There are so many ifs and buts here. Number one, in a decade. So that basically means it's beating everything since 2011. Not hard, because since Warlords of Draenor and Legion, WoW Classic now exists, and they've way more deeply monetized the game. So in a way, no shit. If you're going to look at things
They're
now,
milking the
mean,
whales for all their
the
work.
6-month sub that the Hearthstone people will have got, will they have started doing that in September, or was that October?
I believe they would have picked that up likely in September.
Okay,
Possibly.
These people
There's
have
Hearthstone
Yeah.
people moving
fucking
over to
morals.
WoW only to get Hearthstone goodies.
Yep.
There was WoW doing its 6-month subs and all of that. There was the Burning Crusade Classic. Of course, soon there's going to be Season of Mastery. That falls outside of the quarter. There's the mount they also just released like last week. Again, it falls outside this quarter, but point is, they're doing a lot more in terms of money for World of Warcraft outside of a modern expansion release year.
Yeah.
So this is not a surprising or particularly impressive number. And do note that in page 48 or whatever, like the proper big filing they did, was that it does mention the WoW revenue, being down a bit, and that kind of offsetting some of the gains of D2R.
Yeah, one of the things to keep in mind is the Burning Crusade release was obviously, like, the first Classic release wasn't very monetized at all. They were like, hey, you pay your World of Warcraft subscription, you can play Classic. So you'd have maybe people going on 6-month subs there, but you'd have a lot of people going for the $15 sub.
Wait. There's a 6-month sub specifically for TBC? There's a 6-month mount sub? Are you serious? Blizzard are just so disgusting, dude.
And then you look over at the Burning Crusade launch, and it had the Dark Portal Pass.
Oh my god.
Which is obviously going to, I'm not sure how many of those they sold, but I imagine it's actually quite a few, just because TBC was special to people and they're like banging on the hype. So they basically did go, well, it's outside of a modern expansion year, but we did also fully monetize a content release, but we didn't charge for it, so we're going to skirt being able to say that in a weird way.
This is the sort of thing that is designed to trip up investors who are going to be looking at the call, trying to work out what's going on, but won't have the game-specific knowledge.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, I mean, not to throw shade at, I don't know, Andrew Kramer or, some stock person on the TV. Not that they'll probably look through this, but if one of those people sees this and doesn't have the full research and analysis, they perhaps won't really understand what that sentence means and how that sentence is not something to overall be thrilled about.
Yeah, I mean, there's for investors, there's not, like, obviously an investor should be doing their due diligence, of course, but, like, there's a decent chance that some of the more outside investors are kind of not paying attention to the fact that World of Warcraft as an IP is in a very dangerous position at the minute.
Yeah.
That none of that is in any capacity communicated. Obviously, you understand why, but it's very obvious to us.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they've got what,
misleading language
in
basically
the quarter almost, and they can't afford to get their development.
Isn't there like a point where something like this should be illegal, where you're telling these things to your investors, saying like, "Oh my God, this is the strongest month. Our IP is doing so good." At a certain point, it should just be straight up fucking illegal. Like, what the hell?
Developers decent webcams and microphones, meaning that they do, they do a community council announcement, and we could do better, obviously. Anyone could do better. That video is a fucking...
I could do better. It's not even hard. I could do way better. And I've criticized, but it's like, this is something this is ubiquitous across the entire industry, though. The whole thing about the bad microphones is like, I keep memeing on Microsoft for doing this. Microsoft does this all the time. Like, you see friggin' Phil Spencer comes on and talks into like a fucking webcam. It's like, what is that, Phil? Is that a fucking Kinect on top of your computer? Because it sounds like ass. This is just like, I swear to God, these friggin' publishers, dude, they're so not ready. It's like, listen, this microphone is a little bit on the top end, okay? So this will set you back like about $200. A microphone like this. The advantage of this one is I can scream into it and it has a built-in compressor. So it's really good. But you can get like a microphone for like $100, like a really good microphone for $100. Okay? Like, seriously, publishers, buy anyone that is talking to an audience that is going to be like, doing a video, buy them a good microphone, good God, so that they don't sound like ass. How is it possible that, content creators sound more professional than actual people that are working in the industry? Like, that's not normal. Like, fix your shit. We're kind of using Linux? No.
Production perspective. It's like all this shit with WoW that's just so loopy and bizarre and like amateur feeling sometimes. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
Use some of that money from your fucking
The Overwatch
mounts,
League season
store
finals were the
mounts.
most watched in the history of the league. I have a feeling that is because people were heavily expecting Overwatch 2. Pretty big news.
Yeah,
there was rumors
probably.
floating around that Overwatch 2 beta actually could have been announced at that event.
Yeah. Also,
Nope.
I'm not sure what numbers they gave exactly for this, or if they just threw that statement out and said, yeah, here we go, it's the most watched final. There's a lot of ways you can say something's most watched. You could track a load of embeds, you could look at watch time, stuff like that. And it's the same thing as always, where if they don't tell you the numbers, you should be very wary of what they actually mean.
You can pull a Extra Life and just embed the live stream on the WoW launcher. just on not WoW launcher, the Battle.net. Just embed the stream on friggin' on Battle.net, which is essentially pulling a Extra Life. You guys ever seen how Extra Life has like thousands? I mean, I'm sure you have seen it because it's become kind of like a talking point a couple of weeks ago. Which I find interesting that people are only talking about this now, almost like this is some kind of big news. I'm like, every single time I looked at, for like the past, 5 years, I've known why Extra Life has so many people watching. Because, you go to the Extra Life website and there's the stream embedded. As a matter of fact, like, I think it was probably like over 5 years ago or something. I remember actually going to the Extra Life stream and I was like, man, they have a lot of people watching. I don't remember what game it was. I'm like, they have so many people watching, dude. What the hell is going on here? Then I go to the chat and there's almost nobody chatting. And I'm like, what? This is some weird ass shit, dude. And then I realized that it was embedded on their website. I was like, oh, that's why. Oh, I get it now. But yeah, they've been doing it for years. And it's like, the Blizzard could do something like that with the Battle.net launcher.
Yes.
Obviously, if they do tell you numbers, investigate those numbers as well. But it's that case of, I'm very suspicious when they go, it was the nebulous phrase of all time. You're like, was it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's something really funny. The upcoming Overwatch 2, or Overwatch 2022 League, will be played at an early build of Overwatch 2. And it really will be an early build.
Very early build.
In fact, it will be this weird situation where the league is going to be played on a version of the game that you can't play. So you could see, it's played in Overwatch 2. Cool show match idea. But especially as Overwatch 2 is also delayed in addition to Diablo 4, that's going to be awkward. For everything else, King have got money in players. Wahoo!
Maxim
Moving on.
Kuresi, thank you very much for becoming
Jen
a
O'Neill
Saint
says
Candidacy.
goodbye.
the hat.
This was a
Appreciate
really
support.
weird thing. So Jen O'Neill, co-leader of Blizzard, is gone. 2 months in or 3 months in.
Another
She's going to be
one.
leaving the role at the end of the year to work on fostering diversity and representation in the games industry. She took over along with Mike Ibarra in August, and now she is gone. Before that, she was the head of Vicarious Visions before they were assimilated in, and of course the news of her departure is following Vicarious Visions. The reports of them basically
This
losing
is
their
like
name.
one of the most important
People
things I
maybe
want to
thinking
hear
they'll be
what
called Blizzard
Bellular
Albany or
has to say
something.
on.
Now, of course, she does her thing. She says, I'm not doing this because I am without hope for Blizzard. Apparently, it's the opposite, that she is inspired by the passion of everyone there, working towards meaningful, lasting change with her whole hearts, and this has inspired her to leave the company. I joke. It's inspired her.
She was inspired by everyone's passion, and she decided to nope the fuck right out of there, dude. Listen, you guys want to know the truth? You guys want to know the truth about the situation with her? Here's what happened, okay? Here's what she did. She was like, hey, she was in a meeting. Listen, guys, she was in a meeting, and then suddenly she realized this company is about to blow the fuck up. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. And she just fucking gave them two fingers like this to everybody on her team, and then she moonwalked out of there real smooth like. She just fucking moonwalked out of there. Zero fucks. He's like, I'm a moonwalk right out of this bitch. Yeah, exactly. Smooth criminal, dude. A smooth criminal. Dun, 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 dun.
Her to step out and explore how she can do more in games and diversity and hopefully make a broader industry impact that will benefit Blizzard and other studios. She doesn't actually know what form that's going to take yet, but she's excited. And she also writes that ActiBliz leadership has offered a $1 million grant to Women in Games
Hush
International,
money.
which ONeill is a board member on. So over the rest of the year, ONeill's responsibilities will be going to Mike Ybarra, and should be working with both.
Mike Ybarra, by the way, being the co-lead that sells boosts on a regular basis. Hey.
ActiBliz and Women in Games International to determine the first steps around how the grant will be utilized and its structure. Now, this basically is going to suck for a lot of the Blizzard employees who maybe saw, they saw the problems, they then saw, oh, well, hey, women in leadership role, this maybe gives me some hope, or maybe for the women in the company, they felt, okay, well, us women did not, we got the short end of the stick. Oh, look, now, and then Jen O'Neill's gone. And certainly from the tweets that I've seen, there's a lot of disappointment amongst Blizzard people. Additionally, Amy Dunham, who was a technical director at Blizzard, also has left Blizzard, and in her sort of departing tweet, she said for a brief period in 2020, there were 3 women in leadership of game dev teams at Blizzard, saying, greater than or equal to director roles, which were Julia, Jen, and me. They were the first women to serve in those roles, and now they're all gone. So it's a sort of thing where this, in many ways, is just people doing their thing. But maybe some of these people are not seeing a lot of opportunity there. Maybe they're just, greener pastures or whatever. So overall, at the very least, it's a bad look for Blizzard. And certainly for a lot of people, they see this and they maybe just think, well, okay, maybe Jen's going to leave and they're just scrambling to throw this million somewhere to get the good feels, the good news, to try to, massage the potential impact. That's what you think. We have been trained to be cynical of these companies, and we kind of been trained to be cynical of them because of their own behavior. So,
yeah, it's personally very disappointing for me seeing Vicarious Visions be what appeared to be this incredible opportunity for a shot in the arm for Blizzard, for the incredible team who have done great work over the years, led by someone who's been leading that for a long time, seemed to be very, very good at production stuff, and then just, sorry, this isn't for me, I'm out, goodbye. While Vicarious Visions kind of suffer from what seems to be some Battle.net related issues because the server stuff having to work with Blizzard on that front. Obviously, they've done a good job with Resurrected, but it's like if they're losing their image, their identity, and the person who led them is now gone from the company overall, what does that say about VV's impact on Blizzard versus them joining the soup and then been sort of awash in the Blizzard stuff as opposed to making a positive change for themselves?
I think them having Vicarious Visions as a completely separate studio would have been way more beneficial to the company than just assimilating it like the fucking Borg, dude. I think it would have been way better for them to just be a separate studio. Yes, Blizzard owns us, but, we're our own thing. As a matter of fact, I think it would have been better for Blizzard to have a whole bunch of studios like that, because they would have their own studio cultures. Because, Vicarious Visions has been doing good work. They have been doing good work. Why would you want to assimilate them and break up a winning team? Especially, why would you want to assimilate them in what is currently, for all intents and purposes, a fucking it's a shit creek.
If Jen left 1 or 2 years after that, I maybe understand. It's like, okay, she moved in for this reason, and now it's time for something else. But 3 months? I don't know.
It's too fast.
Do you accept a role, understanding what the role is, and then 3 months later move on to something else? Nope. In a position like this, where it was obviously an extremely public thing. That's, I guess, what confuses me. It just feels odd. It feels odd. She says that, it's not like she's immediately going to another company. Maybe she is, but she just can't say that because of non-competes and stuff. It's just very bizarre.
Yeah, especially when you consider her history, where I'm sure there are people who do hop companies like crazy, and they get a lot of experience in a short period of time.
Hasn't she been in Vicarious Visions for like 10 years or
and
something
then
more?
Hopping around, becoming this kind of sort of omni knowledge of all these companies. But Jen joined Activision and stayed with Activision for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And worked her way up the ladder to be the head of Vicarious Visions. And now she's like, no, I'm not. I'm goodbye. Goodbye. Out of the blue, goodbye. It certainly has one think it's maybe not like bad blood or anything, but definitely the case of it seems like she's like, nah, I don't want to be here. That's the feel anyway.
It just feels so weird.
Yeah.
To move on then, Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 have been delayed into 2023 because the news just keeps on getting better and better for Blizzard. Basically they say that as they've worked with new leadership in Blizzard within the franchises themselves, particularly in certain key creative roles, it's become apparent that some of the content for next year will benefit from more development time to reach its full potential. So yeah, Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, they are not coming out in 2022. They are 2023.
Good times perpetually around the corner, I think, was something what they said a while ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so bloody rough. So I guess the
At the rate that they're churning through staff, I don't even know if Diablo 4 comes out in 2023.
changes in leadership and stuff like that have all taken their toll. Of course,
Makes sense, of course.
Jeff Kaplan left, the executive producer. Chaco Sonny left as well. Louis Barrega and lead designer Jesse McCree. That's like game director and lead designer for.
They need to go get Josh Mosquera, dude. Josh Mosquera was doing some good fucking work in the Diablo franchise. Josh Mosquera was doing some good fucking work in the Diablo franchise. Josh Mosquera was going to give us Diablo souls, dude. That was his baby. That was his project. I think it was called Project Fenrir. That was what he was doing. And they fucked him over on that. And he said, okay, bye. And he just fucking ditched. He's like, you're going to fuck my project? Fuck y'all. Bye.
Diablo 4, they left in the wake of the lawsuit. Joe Shelley wasn't confirmed as game director until October.
Yeah.
That's all pretty rough.
Like, what is going on? What is going on that Overwatch 2 is taking 5-6 years to develop?
Okay, let's get real here, okay? Overwatch 2 is a fucking patch. Okay? Overwatch 2 is a fucking patch. Fight me. Overwatch 2 is nothing but a fucking patch. Overwatch 2 should be called Overwatch 1.5. Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1, but with fucking co-op. Shut the fuck up, Blizzard. Like, fuck, if you can't figure out Overwatch 2, if you can't even put out fucking Overwatch 2, don't even try to put out Diablo 4, okay? It's enough. You've done enough to this poor franchise, okay? Just let it fucking die. Let it die with Diablo 2 resurrected at this point. Jesus fucking Christ. Homeless Grey Cat, thank you very much for making Fade Whims grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jesus fuck, dude. If you can't, oh my God. Overwatch 2 is such a fucking joke.
Yeah, and this is a game when it came, when we initially saw it, we kind of thought, really?
And let me tell you something else about fucking Overwatch 2, okay? Calling it Overwatch 2 is a bad fucking PR move. It is a terrible move. Why the fuck would you call it Overwatch 2? Everybody knows you want to make it into a live service thing. Why would you call it Overwatch 2? What? I can't even begin to imagine who in their right mind was like, hey, we'll call it what? Overwatch 2. Oh man, you're a fucking genius. Overwatch is not Diablo.
It's a bit small.
Yeah.
Are you just trying to sell another box? And certainly for a lot of people who are, the captive Overwatch players, what do they want? They want more maps, they want more heroes. They don't want a big content route. So it's like Blizzard have kind of bungled Overwatch 1, and the only way they
Yeah.
could have really fixed that up is getting Overwatch 2 out, and now Overwatch 2 is delayed. It feels
job.
like they risk squandering that franchise.
But don't worry, though. They changed McCree's name. So, that was the important thing to do. They changed McCree's name. So at least there's that. At least there's that.
I think it's probably too late, unless the dual tenet of, a rushed game is bad forever, but a good game can be eventually good. Unless that
Is it
tenet,
called
which I
Cole
believe wasn't
Cassidy
actually
now?
said by Miyamoto at all, if that tenet's true, then maybe Overwatch 2 will be strong enough when it comes out. But I just find it very hard to believe.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that the thing that I find hardest to believe is that this is good work solidly been put on. Like, I don't think this is more polish. No, more polish. I think this is constantly second guessing and changing things as they go. That's the only reason in my head this amount of content could take so long.
Yeah, it feels so bizarre, and I almost wonder, like, if you're an Activision person and you look at Call of Duty, and you're like, you see how Call of Duty's being developed, then you look at Overwatch. Why does it take so long?
I never even thought about it like that, dude. Imagine being the guy, one of the Activision people fucking working on Call of Duty and looking like, the fuck is going on over there? Wait. I think I know. Guys, I found it. I found the POV of someone. No, dude, I'm serious. No, this is leaked information, guys. Seriously. I found it online earlier. Let me just pull it up. This is the POV of someone looking at what the development of from the eyes of a Call of Duty developer. Here's what the Overwatch 2 development looks like. Looks a little bit like this. Wait, I think I have a different angle on this. Now, this one doesn't have good resolution. I'm looking for one with a good resolution. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good one. Here's a different angle, guys. It looks like this. Why can I not get good resolution on these fucking images? Wait, what's going on? Seriously? Wow, this is the best one I can get. Yeah, but here's the angle, guys. This is what it looks like. If you're working on a Call of Duty game and you look at, what the Overwatch team is doing, you're just like, that looks interesting. Look at the flames over there. Oh man, look at that little piece of waste over here to the side. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Oh, and this hole in here, the air is going to come in through here real bad, and it's going to just make this dumpster fire burn that much more, dude. Yeah, this is what it looks like for Call of Duty developers.
What's going on? I wonder what they think over there. But yeah, it's friggin' weird. And then, obviously, for the Overwatch League, that's awkward. Because imagine if League of Legends was being played on League of Legends 2, but for 2 years, 1 year, whatever, you players couldn't actually play LoL 2, but all the pros were playing it. It'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Imagine Tyler 1. Imagine Tyler 1 being forced to play League 2 in a tournament.
They struggle, they even struggle like crazy with patch timings around specific events, and usually have to have patches out to the wild while the pros are playing on old patches for an event for a little while.
Yeah.
Not for very long, to actually the opposite of this versus, hey, would you like to be an aspiring Overwatch 2 pro? Well, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to play Overwatch 2. You're not an existing professional. So how is that going to nurture any sort of esports scene whatsoever? Because that's going to be the OWL is going to be running for a year without anyone able to play Overwatch 2. But then the problem is, if you want the pros to play good esports, they need to be on Overwatch 2 to actually practice the 5v5, any new maps, any new mechanic changes, anything like that. Which means the leaks are going to be crazy, likely.
Yeah.
Because they all have all this game to play.
Dude, I miss playing this character. This was my favorite
Their
character,
decision making
Pharah.
is so ass backwards. I cannot understand it.
It's very just, I think, hype, pump, business first, not thinking about players or the competitive side.
Well, that's not new.
Yeah. So then for morale, TLDR, not great. As an example, the Blizzard people only found out about Jen leaving at the shareholder meeting. So that's, that's great timing
Imagine
internally.
that.
I guess they just didn't
Imagine
want it to
that.
leak ahead.
Yeah, of
but
course they didn't.
still, that's really quite rough. Morale, of course, has been a struggle at Blizzard. All the good times are just around the corner.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, look, it's just not particularly great. PC Gamer talked about some stuff about morale. Those staff saying it was an overall positive response to last week's announcement from Bobby, but the timing was seen as being suspect because, like, the investment or the investor call and the like. Yeah. So, like the arbitration thing, a clear win, the diverse recruiting policies reflecting what individual Activision Blizzard teams have actually just been implementing without waiting for a company mandate, that stuff's going on. However, the news that ONeill is stepping down as co-lead after just 3 months has killed any morale boost from last week's concessions, according to that employee. For some, ONeill's leadership was one of the best reasons they had to believe in a better future. So I think it's like Jen, for a lot, like, she just represented a lot, and she's gone. So all of these things, obviously bad. The performance-based bonuses, which would bump up their compensation, of course, those have been kicked another year down the road too. And then the final little thing as well, you mentioned Diablo Immortal pay-to-win stuff. Yep. Here's Steven from, of course, Wowhead. Mm-hmm. Data mining genius.
Absolutely.
And does great work. After 3 days of playing Immortal, I feel it has a strong pay-to-win system similar to State of Survival Game Shop.
What did I tell you? What did I tell? I told you this before Bellular even confirmed it in this video. Because I had heard it in a podcast. I remember them talking specifically about this. And again, they don't go into great detail here. I don't know if they're going to talk more about it in the video, but basically, it's like I'm saying, if you're someone who wants to play Diablo Immortal casually, you're fine. If you want to min-max, which, like I said, is what you do in the game like Diablo, you fucking min-max. That's the whole goddamn point. If you actually want to min-max and be even remotely competitive, and I'm not talking about PvP, I'm talking about, making like a proper build, then yeah, the game is pay to win. And fuck you. That's what Blizzard thinks about you. They're going to milk you for everything you're worth. And again, this to me is so incredibly manipulative and fucking disgusting on the Diablo fan base. It is so incredibly... And dude, it just really... It fucking hurts that like I said, they've done this franchise so fucking dirty. They've done their fan base so fucking dirty. And then they come around and they release Diablo 2 Resurrected, and the fan base just goes right in and props them up and fucking carries all of their fucking failures on their backs with a release, by the way, that was fucking botched. That was literally fucking botched. Like, I don't think they fixed the fucking servers yet. Blizzard not only doesn't deserve this franchise, it doesn't deserve the fan base, it doesn't deserve the passion of the fan base, and it most definitely will not deserve the ridiculous amount of money that they will make with this fucking disgusting piece of filth.
I would prefer only Battle Pass, cosmetics, and minor transactions that wouldn't have a huge impact.
Yeah, so that's...
There we go. Now the tweet's loaded. So, yeah, there's things here. You can get your 300 Eternal Orbs, your rare crests. So you can see there's the featured things, then there's crests. So a rare crest will add a Rift modifier and guarantees rune drops.
Literally, Magic Find. You just buy Magic Find. You guys remember how we used to have items that gave us Magic Find? Well, now you can fucking buy it.
So a legendary crest will add 2 modifiers and grant a legendary gem drop and a rune. Then you can purchase materials. So I imagine that's going to be a little bit of pay to skip, and also some of those materials perhaps being throttled in their usual acquisition. Of course, there's also bundles, services, and then, of course, currency to buy the Eternal Orbs.
Yeah, it's on.
We'll have to take a look, but
right
certainly that's the sort of thing that does not play as well in the Western market with players. If you look at a lot of the similar games over in the Eastern market, a lot of this is very normal, but I don't think it's what Diablo fans will at all be interested in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and the thing that's frustrating is that Steven otherwise is really positive on it. As a big Diablo fan, he absolutely loves it, thinks it's great. I mean, he actually says, in a reply to that tweet, he says he's forcing himself not to get addicted so he doesn't waste time during the closed beta because he wants to play it when it's out, but it does feel heavy pay to win. And you're like, that's maybe okay from a business perspective, but like, what are the headlines going to be when this releases?
Yeah.
How is it okay from a bit? It's like, I don't think. Okay, it's like you can say that it's okay from a profits perspective because, yeah, they're going to make a lot of fucking money. But from a business perspective, I don't think it's a good business decision to fucking fleece your customers. It almost be like, let me go ahead and go over here to my chat and make sure that I enable it so that only people who are subscribed can talk. Let's just turn on subscriber only mode so that, if you want to fucking talk to me, if you want to interact with me, then you got to fucking pony up. It's the same fucking thing. Except I don't do it because I don't do this just for the money. I do this because I like, and I feel it would be wrong to fucking fleece my audience, which is ridiculous. No, this is what Blizzard does. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking make the pay to win. There you go.
It's the new Diablo game because obviously Resurrected was remaster. It's the new Diablo game we've been waiting on forever. The one that caused the big controversy. What's it like? Oh, it's full of pay to win shit. Great,
thanks.
The entire Western
Appreciate
player
it.
is going to just give Blizzard the middle finger there.
Yeah, because Blizzard doesn't care because their fucking market is China. That's all they fucking care. All they care about is fucking China. It's just fucking disgusting, dude.
And it seems like they do not give a shit.
Yeah, and I suppose it worries me if they're doing it with this, and then I think about the World of Warcraft mobile games they have in development. Like, if they're willing to do this to Diablo, what will they do with Warcraft?
The same thing, honestly.
Yeah. So that's basically it. I mean, I don't know if you need me to say that the TLDR is that all of this is quite bad for PR, and of course, if you look at what the investor types, well, market's not exactly reacting fantastically to this either, are they? So it is what it is. It's not particularly good. That is it for the Activision Blizzard earnings call and all of the related things that have happened. So that's it from us. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.
You get what you fucking deserve, Blizzard. Unfortunately, like I said, this game's gonna make them fucking billions, dude. Billions with a B, with a capital B. That's the amount of money that Diablo Immortal is going to make. And it's just really, it's so nasty and dirty. I think that at some point I just need to stop. It's like I keep watching the situation unfold in the very small, like, 0 points, the shot in the dark. Like, in the back of my mind, there's a part of me that's like, come on, dude, maybe this is the time. Maybe, I mean, I wasn't expecting it for this video, but I keep expecting, maybe things will improve. Like Jen Oneil, like I said, after I watched the Bellular video on Jen Oneil and Mike Ibarra, I was actually like, you know what? This leadership change might actually be really good for Blizzard. This might actually be the shot, at least a part of the shot in the arm that team needs. And I gave myself a little bit of hope when that happened. And as someone who fucking loves Diablo, it's just I don't want to play Diablo 3 until the end of times. I've had my fill of Diablo 3. I don't want to be playing like seasons until the end of time. So obviously I want to play something new. I also wanted to play Diablo 2 Resurrected, super important game for me. And it's just like the company just keeps doing the nastiest possible shit that it can in the nastiest possible ways that it can, in the sleaziest possible ways that it can, completely like dicking over their player base again and again and again. And I think that some people think I take some kind of like sick fucking twisted pleasure in watching this happen. I don't. I fucking don't. At a certain point, I think I'm just gonna have to fucking stop. This is ridiculous because it's never gonna get any better. It just keeps getting worse and fucking worse.